From Cherokee Trail High School in the varsity locker room, this is CT Football Today with head coach Joe Johnson. And hello again, everyone. I'm Blake Olson along with Coach Johnson, and we are here in the locker room this week because it's homecoming. So a nice thing that they do here in the football program, the parents come and they decorate their son's locker. But all this for homecoming coming up this week as CT gets ready to take on Rock Canyon. Well, Coach, I don't think any football coach likes homecoming, but you kind of have to go with it, don't you? Or do you like it?
You know, I think it can be a good thing if it's not a distraction. If it gets our guys fired up for the game, I don't mind it. But if it's a distraction from things we need to do, then not a fan.
All right, let's talk about this. We just finished kind of talking about the game, and against Chaparral, you're a lot of guys down. But I looked at it and I was like, hey, you know what? It wasn't that bad. You had a couple nice drives early on, and you just couldn't punch it in the red zone early on. I think that had a lot to do with it.
We moved the ball at times. We had some big plays, but we couldn't convert. We had a turnover there down in tight, and we turned one over and they scored off of it. And then, late in the game, we tried to go for one, and we gave them the ball down in our end. That's my decision. But, our guys that played were in there, played hard, and some of them didn't know what they were doing because we had to move some guys around, and I guess, we should have prepared them better. But hard to prepare for all the things that have happened, to be honest.
Boy, that's the truth. Once again, a great classroom for football, a varsity football field, and a conference game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A lot of young guys are learning what it's like to be out there and what they need to do better.
Character development, that's what we call it.
Or revealment. Yeah.
Or revealment. Well, there are some plays that were pretty impressive early on. Hayden Albaugh was able to play a half, and then I think he re-injured his left hand. Is that correct?
He did, yeah.
Okay, so that was in the third quarter, I believe.
Yeah.
So now we go on to quarterback number 77. But all these quarterbacks are capable, and now you have two more quarterbacks, a new starter this week, and we saw obviously a guy who's been waiting to play will get the start this week, but he played pretty well in the second half.
Yeah, I thought Grant did a good job coming in and being in a tough situation, and we got to do a better job protecting him up front, I think. He really got a lot of heavy pressure, and we've got to do a better job handling that. And Leslie Richardson III will get in there and probably take some of the reps this week too, and he's a freshman. So those two guys, Grant will be the main guy, I think, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see Leslie a little bit too.
Grant Cicerone with the start. What are his best assets, do you think? His arm, or pretty tall kid?
Yeah, I think Grant gets the ball out on time well. I think he recognizes things well. He has good arm strength, and so we need to take advantage of that and be a little sharper in our short passing game and give him the protection that he needs.
Take on Rock Canyon for homecoming this week. Obviously a coaching change there, and they've had to kind of do the same things that you've had to do. I don't know if they've had the injuries, but how do you describe them as a team?
They're a spread team. They've got big linemen. They got big people up front. They're running the ball much better than they have maybe ever that I remember. They've really expanded that part of things. Even though they're a spread offense, they're running the ball well, and they can still hurt you throwing it a little bit. And defensively, they hustle around, and looks like they're in pro style. Overshift 4-3 looks, and they do things well, very sound.
I want to go back to the offense real quick and talk about a couple of plays, and just generally Darius Swanson, no surprise. I mean, the guy his motor does not quit. I think it took 11 guys to tackle him the other night. He had a long run as well. He made some athletic plays.
Oh yeah, that's why he's our captain, and in my opinion, he's our best football player, and he plays both sides of the ball, plays a lot of downs. I think I said this before, he's our quarterback on defense. He gets us set. He's very intelligent, sees things, and I mean, we were running him up into the front a lot. And I'm sure people noticed that to help bolster our front up in there, and he did a nice job. And then they started running away from him a little bit, which was smart on their part. But he can cover, he can play the run hard. He can do it all. I mean, he could play a lot of positions for us on this team very well.
Talking about toughness, I see Kyle Logan's parents back here decorating his locker, and his jaw is broken. Yeah. I think this is the first time this week he's able to eat, from what I understand.
Possibly.
I mean, real food.
Yeah.
But there was another tough play. Donovan Swift, unbelievable catch, and got hit hard. But man, I mean, there are some tough-nosed football players in this program.
Oh yeah. No doubt of that. And, I mean, we've just had some unfortunate occurrences with injuries too, and I don't think that means a kid isn't tough when the tendon gets ripped off his finger, or when he gets a broken collarbone or a broken femur, or things like that are not really an indication of toughness or the lack thereof. I mean, you can't play with those kinds of things. So, broken jaw and broken hand, and you can't play with bone breaks, and that's the way it is. We didn't practice very well today, I'll be honest, and so we had a little remediation period at the end to remind them that we need to be more disciplined, and that's part of my job. And I thought we had actually a pretty good day yesterday, and some guys catching on fast to new spots that we've got to move them to. So, hopefully we can, just be a little more sound next week and have more guys better prepared to be in there.
I know you have to go quarter by quarter at this point, or actually possession by possession, or play by play. But you know what? The playoffs are not out of the question.
No, they're not for us. But we got to win this week, and that's what we need to focus on, is playing this week, and we shouldn't be looking at anything else. Play football this week.
And you talk about the discipline, not making those mental errors. I think maybe a couple of false starts really hurt you.
Oh yeah, the pre-snap penalties drive me crazy, and we had personal fouls, and we had one on our sideline. I mean, we gave up 45 yards one drive. We can't do that. I mean, we're struggling enough without doing that. So we got to be better about that. And that's what we're working on.
Okay, so you can hurdle evidently when a defender is on the ground, and maybe it's a judgment call, but they didn't. It kind of is a judgment call. Okay, it was a nice hurdle. I just remember the flag being thrown earlier in the season, but you can, and it's a judgment call by the officials. And I know you're not going to say anything bad about the officials right now.
No, I'm not.
I think it's Officials Appreciation Week.
Well,
celebrate that.
We have enough to worry about on our own account. They were not the cause of what happened.
Well, that's kind of how you have to approach it, and I'm sure that trickles down to your team, and I respect that, and I think the officials do as well. Well, great job, Coach, and we're going to get a victory this week. Yes, we are. Homecoming, as they celebrate here in the locker room and put last week behind you, did some great things, and once again, great work. Tell the coaches great work, and the Booster Club will be out in force along with the student body this Friday, taking on Rock Canyon at Legacy Stadium, just east of Cherokee Trail High School. Thanks a lot for watching CT Football Live today with head coach Joe Johnson. We'll talk to you on Friday. Thanks for watching.